It's special edition time.
This is going to be our spoiler-free review and impressions of The Force Awakens.
You can watch safely because even if we accidentally say one,
I'm going to
you
cut it
won't
out.
see
Cut it out.
We all saw Star Wars today.
We did.
Well, he saw it for the second time today.
I did.
I see mine for the second time on Sunday.
Same here.
Oh, you're going again?
Get that IMAX poster.
I'm probably just going to end up buying that poster on eBay because I'm sure there will be a lot of copies.
Yeah.
So did we enjoy it?
I did, absolutely. I think it's actually in my top 3 Star Wars films. What about you?
I'm sort of right there along with you. I mean, it's not a perfect film by any stretch of the imagination,
Yeah.
but I have it there right with Return of the Jedi as one of my favorite Star Wars films of all time. It's J.J. Abrams knows how to use production design and cinematography and works with actors. And the overarching story, while a little disjunctive in parts, is just a fantastic story.
Are there any categories of things that you think were done particularly well in this movie?
yeah. Production design was upper echelon. Mad Max Fury Road, of course, that's one of the best production design movies that we've seen in the last 5 years, but this was better.
This is going to take it away.
Yeah.
And when Fury Road came out, I wouldn't have called that. The production
The
design of that was
cinematography on
fantastic.
Fury Road probably still should win. Sicario's really close,
Yeah.
but the production design on this movie is immaculate.
I really thoroughly enjoy that JJ lived up to his word when he said practical effects were going to happen a lot more often. If they could do it practically, they would do it practically.
Yep.
And you could tell. And it was a lot more enjoyable. Just very close attention to detail with practical versus non-practical CGI. Yes, there's CGI, but it's at an acceptable level.
There was only one shot that I think was even noticeably CG. And there were some shots that it's like you know it's CG just because it's not a thing that could exist, but it didn't look CG. It didn't have that glossy Jar Jar Binks going on, and it didn't have the photoshopped in look. Especially since, this whole movie was shot on film.
Spoilers, you just told them all Jar Jar was there.
Jeez, now you're telling them Jar Jar's not there.
But yeah, also feeding into production design, the costumes and the aliens. I'm not sure if I've seen that creative mind put to life in terms of... Star Trek at point has come close, and the first New Hope kind of had crazy aliens.
And that's exactly what I'd compare it to as the first New Hope, because it really did have that...
First New Hope.
What I mean by that is not the
New
special
Hope.
edition New Hope.
That's what I meant?
Yeah.
Oh.
To be clear to the audience.
When I watched Star Wars for the first time, it was the 98 editions.
Yeah, those are the bad ones.
The Jabba never bothered me.
I am going to get you a copy of Despecialized, and I'm going to make you
I
watch
understand why there's some reasons, but philosophical reasons for the different stuff, but it doesn't hinder my enjoyment.
Well, it's not those so much. The job is just stupid. It's a stupid scene that was added. The things that bother me are the places where Vader says no, that he's not supposed to say no.
That's probably the biggest flaw, I think.
The special edition, the most offensive one was when Luke has his hand cut off and lets go and falls down in Bespin. In the original and in the Blu-ray, he is silent all the way down. In the special edition, they made him scream like Wilhelm all the way down, which completely changes the emotion of the scene. It's, I'm not going to join you, noble death. Or, I slip!
What other elements did we like? Were the characters really well
I
realized?
loved the characters. The writing was, you could tell it was Lawrence Kasdan, because it had that reality to the character.
I think the writing and the overarching thing with a lot of the characters, some of the acting from particularly one character who I won't spoil, a couple moments in the film were a little iffy.
We're gonna have to come back to
there's
that.
nothing too huge there.
We're going to have to come back to that in the spoiler episode
Yeah.
that'll be releasing after this episode.
You will be warned of which one is which, I promise.
Yes. What categories do you think were bad? Were there any? Entire categories that gave you trouble?
I think, while the story was good, there were problems with the pacing at times.
Yes. There is a specific moment that I'm going to mention in the spoiler cast that I had a problem with. I don't think there's any real categories.
Pacing's a huge category, I think.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say the pacing. I would say there's no way to say it without being a spoiler, so I'm not going to say it. There was one thing that I had a problem with.
Maybe paying homage too much?
Yes, that is a fair point. There is a little too much.
If there was no fans of Star Wars, I feel like this could have been a better film.
Well, at the same time, I think that he left a lot of opportunities for homage on the table.
That's true. It could have been a lot more.
For the characters that were in it and the things that were in it, there were a lot of opportunities to do big, easy homages that he left on the table that were so close to being just right there in the movie that I feel like they might have been cut.
Left
Like he
to your
might have filmed
imagination.
Like
Peter Jackson is going to release his
asking-
extended edition of this.
That is a good fair point. I would like to see this movie about 15 minutes longer.
Really?
Yes.
I kind of think
we'll talk
5
about
minutes.
that.
I think 5 minutes shorter would have been better.
We'll talk about that in the spoiler. Well, it's just like this is not even close to being in the same range, to be clear. But I had a bit of that same feeling with Age of Ultron, where it could have been either 15 minutes longer or 5 minutes shorter.
Either like 30 minutes shorter or like 45 minutes longer.
I'm not sure I would want to watch the 3-hour episode 7.
No, I'm talking about Age of Ultron.
I know I wouldn't want to watch the 3-hour
I just wanted
Age
to
of
be in
Ultron.
that theater forever watching Force Awakens.
All right,
Well,
so
I did.
we're struggling a lot right now, coming up with a lot, much to say without spoiling the movie. So we're going to go out of this video on one final thought from each person. Did JJ do it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Actually, let's do one more thing. Out of 10.
Do you want my actual
Arbitrary-
in my arbitrary in my brain how I actually do my rating?
What are you
from
going
it?
with, like 5.5, or are you going to go?
I'm going to. If you really want my actual rating, it's a 9.25.
9.25. Okay, I was actually going to go with 9.5 for myself. You?
I don't like to put arbitrary numbers on movies.
So give it a 7 because it's episode 7.
The movie is fantastic, and I do believe that JJ did do exactly what he was set out to do. Is it a flawless movie? No, of course not. I haven't seen a flawless movie, ever. We're humans. Humans make mistakes.
I saw one last
But
week.
that's not even true. But it was exactly what he was supposed to come out with.
Yeah.
Something that even us old fans, new fans, no fans can enjoy.
It's the movie we needed right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also the one we deserved.
It is. Although,
So, for my final thoughts, J.J. Abrams is one of my favorite directors of all time, and as he has done, as I predicted, produced and directed a phenomenal movie. Sure, it's not perfect, and sure, it probably shouldn't be nominated for Academy Awards, but in terms of just pure enjoyment, the action, the acting, the overarching story, some of the best characters we've seen this year, all added to some moments that there was a tear on my face, and it's really,
Yep.
really,
I had
really well made
moments.
move.
I had well-ups a couple of times. Right at the beginning, right when it was a long time ago in a galaxy far from, and I was like, ah!
yeah.
That you knew that was going to happen. That's
There was a man openly weeping behind me at the premiere.
good.
Yes, as
Right.
it should be. My thoughts are, he did a really good job toning down the essential JJ-ness of it. There's shots that are JJ, but the entire movie feels more like the original trilogy than it feels like Abrams.
Yeah, it sort of combined what was best about both. I
can
know a lot of people love to hate on the prequels, but there was good things about them.
There was,
And they combined what
Problem
was
with
good.
prequels is there was more bad than there was good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And the nice thing about this is there is more good than there is bad.
Yeah,
A lot more.
Way more.
So that does it for this episode. We are going to be doing a spoiler-filled episode. After this, it's going to be posted with a bright, big red
Blah!
thumbnail telling you to stay away. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, like us on YouTube. Don't comment below. We've turned it off. We don't want anybody to spoil anyone.
No
that
spoilers
doesn't
on the
want to see it.
non-spoiler cast.
And
We'll find you.
but don't forget to subscribe to see more like this.
And we'll see you on the spoiler cast.
Pants pending.